Howdy, hello, and welcome back. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Instead of having a guest or doing my normal face, I'm going to be transforming myself into one of my favorite Drag Race queens, Trixie Mattel. So I'm going to show you the step-by-step process of how I'm going to do that. I'm going to kind of add my little twist on it, but still go big and go Trixie. And yeah, so stay tuned for the end result. And maybe I'll look like Trixie. We'll see. Alrighty, so now that we are looking ooky spooky with no brows, we are just gonna get right into it. So I don't ever black my brows, like ever, unless I'm doing like a no brow look. But I low-key forget I'm pretty good at it. I know what I'm doing when it comes to blocking the brow. So that was kind of a slay. They're like really, really flat. But we're going to see how they hold up. That's the true test. So we're just going to go in. And like I said, I'm doing Trixie Mattel's makeup to my T. Mainly because I have done her makeup in the past. Insert photo here. And it was pretty decent. It definitely wasn't the best, and it definitely was old school Trixie. However, for today's video, I'm going for the more new modern Trixie, and I'm not gonna use a video or anything. I'm just gonna kind of make it my own. And we're gonna go with the flow. But yeah, Trixie Mattel has been my favorite queen since probably right after season 7. I did love her in season 7. But like I wanted to see more, and we did. She's now like the second most famous queen ever, which is just like insane to me. And I think that's something that like I low-key like really, really respect out of her, and that's probably one of my favorite things about her. Is how she's taken one little run and made it so huge, and referring to season 7, she made it so huge that everyone like fell in love with her, and you know, from her own series and so on and so forth, and she just really did the thing. Like she came in and really was like, I'm gonna run with it. And now look, she has a crown finally, whether people agree with it or not. I definitely agree with it, but that's just me. Well, let me rephrase. Do I think statistically she should have won? No. But we're gonna leave that out. She definitely on All Stars really showed her modern brand and what she can do with herself. And that's something I definitely love. And I also just genuinely love her brand. And it switches up all the time, and every time it switches up, it's still something I love and adore. Like whether it's country or whether it's like 60s, which she goes back and forth with, it's still genuinely so aesthetically pleasing, and I adore it so much. I genuinely hate blocking my brows. It takes so much time, it's so much effort, and for those who block their brows every single time they get into drag, props to you, because I literally could never. So now that that's done, I'm just gonna go in. I look insane. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my foundation and put it everywhere. I need a new brush. And ideally, I don't have to do a whole lot more different besides a harsher contour when it comes to the base part, because the sole focus of her base is stage makeup, in my opinion. Like, it's definitely, you're painting for the crowd in the back, and that I can easily do, because when I started doing makeup, I used to do like, and I mentioned it in my first video, I used to do a very like more campy look with like bigger eyeshadow and bigger eyeliner and all that stuff. And I just kind of stopped doing that because it really wasn't what I was wanting for myself in drag anymore. But I still love it and I still adore it. And Trixie Mattel is definitely one of my favorite makeup people when it comes to drag. Because like no matter what, she is always gonna have her own makeup, her own style at least. And that's something I definitely love. So we're kind of going in and already shaping that brow and looking insane. I don't want to make my brows too dark. So therefore I'm going to wait to do that till the very, 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 very end. Okay. So now that I have all that blended out, I'm going to go ahead and go in with my concealer and do that pretty regularly. Because like I said, not much of a huge difference in the base when it comes to Trixie Mattel, or at least how I'm doing the Trixie Mattel. Beard, the contour is definitely where it's going to change up a little bit. And then something I am going to do a little bit differently is I'm going to go ahead and pre-cut where that contour is going to go. And I am still debating if I want to do my contour as low as she does hers, just because I'm not gonna lie, I don't like the way it looks on me, but we shall see. So we're gonna go in really quick and blend all that out. My nose is itching, so I can already tell it's gonna be a very interesting face there. And that's something I also love about Trixie Mattel, is she's very open about textures of skin. Because drag is not easy, especially on your skin. And a lot of makeup hurts your skin. And the more you wear said lot of makeup, the more it's going to hurt said skin. So that's kind of how low I'm going to go for her contour. I don't want to take it too low on myself, just because that's not really my tea. So we're going to go in and start that contour. And when we do this, I'm just gonna sit here and put this napkin on my skin so that it captures a lot of this contour and I don't have to cut as much. Well, you fail. I'm just gonna continue going over all that really quick. I've kind of decided that I'm over the napkin because it's not really doing much. So, and I kind of want like old school Trixie contour to the sense where it's like really, really dark. And I'm also doing something I normally don't do as well, which is contour my chin. Okay, so now that we have that base down, I'm going to go in with just a wee bit darker in the depths. And this is just to like kind of put a base down. So that when we go in with powder all at once, it's just gonna lighten everything. So now that we have all that down, we're gonna go in and do the infamous Trixie contour cut. So we're just gonna take this and swipe it. Now that we have that, we're just gonna go in and blend that bottom really quick and make sure it's nice and laid to the contour. So I'm gonna go in and just add some more of the concealer just right here at the inner corners to kind of brighten it and blend back in to that other concealer. But if you haven't figured out, Trixie's makeup is pretty loud and stage makeup-y. So we're gonna add some of that white just to make it a little bit more prominent. I'm gonna go ahead and set out my powder so that I can just quickly add it on top where I'm done. So I'm gonna go in and do the nose contour, and I love Trixie to death, but I'm not doing her nose contour on my face. I'm definitely going to be doing my nose contour. Love you, but it's not for me. I'm gonna start adding that in to where my eyebrow is gonna start, just to kind of give me a little bit of a marker. So now that I have that laid down, I'm gonna go in and start putting the white all on the bridge of the nose like I usually do. And then I'm gonna go underneath the sides and cut them as well. All right, now that I have that laid and everything kind of powdered and set, I'm gonna go in and start doing the eye shape. And I'm gonna be doing like the gray, like hello eye color, just because I was sitting there one day.
Barbecue sauce on my titties.
It was actually after doing my first video, and I thought to myself, wow, my makeup is literally Trixie Mattel's makeup, but just smaller. Because I was sitting there,
Barbecue sauce on my titties.
in a gray eye look, and I put on Trixie Mattel, and she was sitting there in a gray eye look. And it was literally the same cut crease, but just blown out. And I was like, that is insane. And the great thing about this is they don't have to be even, because one, they never are, and two, it's just the base of it. So everything else can kind of be worked with. So now that I have that down, I'm gonna go in and start blending that out with a gray. I'm just lightly pressing it into it and not really swiping, because blocked brows. So now that that's down, I'm gonna go in with the black and just redefine that line. And then I'm gonna blend all of that back in with that other brush. Okay, so now that we have that white all around the eye, we're gonna go ahead and attempt to do the eyeliner. I'm not gonna lie, this is the one thing that genuinely scares me, because I'm not good at symmetry, and it is what makes or break the eye. So we're gonna pray. And we're gonna go in and just, let's get into it. Okay, so that took an incredibly lot of work and eyeliner, but we're gonna let that dry. And then we're gonna go in and kind of fine detail it to the eye after we powder it all down and kind of figure out the eye shape to the liner. But not gonna lie, it's giving my old makeup. When I first started drag at college and was doing like very bratsy makeup, insert picture here, that's what it's giving. Okay, so we're gonna go in and powder underneath that and then start to pat black eyeshadow on top of where we just did that. So we're definitely gonna go in and redefine that to the eye later on. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and start the other one. That way I can kind of see where I need to go after I put on the white liner. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that really quick. Okay, so I kind of went in and did everything manically in a rush because the eyeliner was killing me, and it still is very interesting, but we're gonna go with the flow. And we're gonna go in and start redefining the contour. We're gonna go in with a fluffy brush, and we're gonna take a piece of paper and hold it up to that area and just go in. So now we're gonna go in with blush. We're gonna do a super hot pink blush because it's Trixie Mattel. I feel like that is very fitting. I'm just gonna go in right on top of where we put all of that contour. And then I'm gonna take another brush and we're gonna go in with darker blush just to kind of blend it all together. Now that that's done, I'm gonna go in and fill in the eyebrows. I started them with a pencil, but I'm gonna go in with a smaller brush and make them more defined. And this is probably gonna be the hardest part for me because I had to do blonde I don't ever do blonde. I'm just gonna go in with this light brown and start making little flicks. And I'm gonna go in with just a little bit of a darker brown and just started really defining those flicks. And I'm just gonna go in and make sure everything is even and cleaned up on the brown. So now that those are on, I'm just gonna take a little bit of a white eyeshadow and clean up the bottom and the top just to make sure they're nice and quippy, because we love a good nice and quippy brow. And then I'm gonna take that blush brush and just kind of blend it back over that white. So I'm gonna go back in on the nose and just add a little bit more depth and just redefine it really quick, just to kind of do as a finishing touch. So I'm gonna outline my lip really quick, and we're going for a huge Trixie lips. So I outlined the lips. I'm gonna let that sit for a second, and I'm gonna set my entire face, and then I'm gonna go in and do highlighter and blend back in some blush. So now while that's wet, I'm gonna go in and add my highlighter on top. And Trixie doesn't really use a lot of highlighter, so I'm just gonna put a little dabble on. So now I'm gonna put on my lashes. And I have these huge lashes, and they're actually made by Green, who I actually had recently on this channel. They did these lashes for me when I told them I was doing a Trixie look. So if you need lashes, make sure to go to Green. All of their socials will be linked right here, and get you some lashes. These are like literally huge. I have not worn lashes these big in quite a hot minute, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous. But I'm gonna put them on, and then it will be done. Oh, and this is the finished look. So I went for a Trixie Mattel, kind of old school Trixie Mattel outfit, very baby doll Trixie Mattel. And then her newer makeup with a little bit of me touched in and out of it. And then for the wig, I truly do not like myself in blonde hair at all, so I literally just pulled out an old blonde wig that I had and teased it for the gods. But I'm pretty happy with it, and I hope you like it too. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for a brand new video, usually every Sunday. Sometimes we run a little behind or some things happen, but I can't wait for you to see the next video because it has so much fun entailed for it. But make sure to follow me on all of my socials at The Only Preferred. And until next time,
So I'm sitting there, barbecue sauce on my titties.